Hi, happy Friday. Today I want to sort of follow up or round out part of the conversation we've talked about earlier. My eye is better. I know it looks worse, but this is better. So earlier in this week, I was saying how our mood is like the speed of the car that we're driving. Our mood sort of navigates how fast our body comes into our manifestations. And today I want to sort of talk about the wave that we get to live in and how that works, what that's like. And when I think about this, when I'm explaining this to someone new, like I got to do this week, I like to talk about how our beliefs are things that we believe and know are true in our body, in our life, for whatever reason, because it's been true forever, because our family said so, because that's how we were raised. For whatever reason, we have held on to a belief and it has stabilized itself in our body and we are manifesting that result. To change that, we've talked this week about the different techniques, but today I just want to talk about that in itself as a wave. Before, when I wasn't aware of how this moved, it would be my life sort of was living in a wave of I didn't have good luck. I knew that I had a struggle. I believed in the saying, like, one step forward, two steps back. I believed things moved very slow and were hard for me. And I felt very unsupported, And so that situation for me, and I felt very unsupported, And so that situation are sort of the stableness or the stability that we have as a manifesting being. And then we think and have thought responses to those beliefs. Those emotional responses are what's guiding and molding our outside reality. And we can shift our reality by addressing those inner beliefs. We can sit and look at a situation, for example, like a love relationship. If it keeps being hard, or you find someone is cheating on you, or your dynamics always fall, different face, but same kind of thing. You can look into, why do I believe this to be true? Well, it's always happened. Okay, but why has it always happened? I don't know. The first guy I dated, it was like this, and it's always been like this. Why do you believe that it's always, I don't know. I just know that, maybe I feel like I attract that. And getting into the ideas of, well, what happens in those relationships? Well, it starts out really good and then it shifts to really bad kind of quickly, and then you can start noticing, well, what happens when it's really good? What are you thinking and feeling? What happens when the shift happens? Do you know when it's really good that the bad is really coming? That idea of waiting for the other shoe to drop, that was definitely a part of the wave that I would live in. So experiences all through my life, love, work, health, all of it would get kind of good and then kind of drop. I would get so happy or optimistic about something, and then there would be this pullback. And now I've shifted my beliefs to know that my waves don't have to come crashing down. There doesn't have to be this pullback. I mean, because I get to do this for myself, I love to swim. I'm a great swimmer. Even in an undertow, I can hold my own. I'm not saying I want to do that ever again, but I have actual evidence. I was born to swim. So I know if a wave is a continuous motion and I get to be the one controlling my wave by my beliefs, my emotional response to them, and what I'm projecting out into the world. If I know that, then I can just know that I'm going to swim differently inside of these patterns. I can know my wave can accelerate and get high and I can surf, and then I can level out and coast again. I don't have to crash and fall back. When I first started learning about this inner leveling up, and that means just becoming more whole with yourself, needing less from the outside world to feel fulfilled, and trusting in your life, your purpose, your soul stream, your ability to live and create as you want to. Maybe like you never really could think that was possible. That's kind of how it was for me. I didn't really believe anymore that I would be able to make a change. So the only answer I came up with was not practicing, not doing this anymore, you know? But letting myself go that far was how I had to kind of get there. We don't have to get that far down the road before we can decide, wait, maybe this could be different for me. Maybe I could think differently. What do I believe about this situation? What do I believe about growth? What do I, like some, for marriage example for marriage. A lot of people want to be married, but they also believe that marriages fail. You know, they don't believe in true love, but they still kind of want to do it. And having that mismatch energy gives you mismatch outside creation. Thanks for the likes. And we can adjust that by saying, you know, in the past, I have felt that. And now I'm going to call in true love. I'm going to call it in and I'm going to anchor that in. We talk about the layering in all the time. If we want something outside, we put it inside first. When we want our clothes to look a certain way, we put them on and look in the mirror and we see that. When we want our face to look a certain way, we look in the mirror and we do what we want it to do and we see that. Depending on what you were messaging or where you were messaging, I use this for work. So if it was like, where are you from and all that kind of stuff, I just mute those conversations because it's not relevant and it ends up just taking more time. And I end up explaining that it's just for work. And then people say, well, yeah, but where are you from anyway? And then well, yeah. So I just mute it. But yeah, maybe I didn't see it at all. So I will check if it's not what I was just saying. So as you're looking into your inner world self and starting to understand or want to understand, how can my beliefs affect my outside world? What are my beliefs that are affecting my outside world? You know, what do I feel like keeps showing up and I'm not able to kick it or move through it? Or this is like a ceiling for me. You know, what is that? At first, when we can name that, it's easy to see it. Then we can see, well, why is this belief there? Was this something that was told and taught by my family? Or is this like historical? Is this hereditary? Like, where is that coming from? And then you can sort of Swiss cheese and chew and chew and chew and chew and chew. But ultimately, if you can believe that you aren't able to do something, you can believe that you are able to do something. And in order for anything to change out here, we have to let it process here. We have to let ourselves believe it and feel comfortable with it. And when we don't, we see others have it. We feel jealous. We get bitter, you know, and it's kind of like the perfect example of like ordering something delicious and then just getting it out of your arm's reach. It's like right there and you're like, but give me my food. And then it's sitting right there in front of somebody else and you walk by and you're sitting there and somebody just walks by and eats your food and you're like, what? What just happened? Or we could be like, oh, there's my food. Oh, there's my food. It's getting closer to me. Get excited. And before you know it, you will be eating your food. It just cannot come if you believe you're never going to get it. It can't come because your beliefs control the way that this all projects out. And no matter if your belief is good for you or bad for you, we are designed that it's like your wish is your command. Your wish is that this won't work out, ta-da. Your wish is that this will work out, ta-da. Your wish is that this will be easy, great. Your wish is that this will be a struggle, great. You know, and when I say wish, I mean think, feel, know, decide, worry. When we worry something, we're wishing it. When we worry, it's, oh God. We're wishing for that to come true. And yeah, it feels like bleh. This is why that energy moves slower and it's more dreadful than a knowing energy, because you kind of go and you just keep on going. And when it comes up, you're yay. You're not like, oh. That's a whole different speed. That goes back to the Monday where our speed is sort of navigating how fast things unfold. When we're excited and anticipating something that we're like eager for, it's great all along the way. And when we are dreading and like, oh, afraid and worrying and having anxiety, it's like that all along the way, and we can't change our end result until we can change along the way, because we are always moving within ourselves in these cycles, in these patterns, whether it's this hour, this day, this week, this month, this season, this year. There's so many layers and layers and layers of us unfolding simultaneously with this unfolding. And we are sort of the one that says, this is a good unfolding. This is a delicious unfolding. This is a supported unfolding. Or, oh my God, no, it's not going to work out for me. What am I going to do? Or even sometimes we spend time thinking, it's all her fault. Blah, blah, blah. All those sorts of energies are thoughts and wishes. We've talked about the ricochet before, and I won't get too lost in it, but just because it popped into my mind. When we are thinking about somebody else and we are thinking that they suck, we are accidentally wishing this suck-ass experience for ourselves. We are wishing when we wish for another, we're wishing for ourselves. This is why when I teach alchemy, I will never be the one to teach like dark magic or something that's going to hurt somebody else, because I know that will come back to you in some sort of a way. I would say in alchemy, we don't send shit out to our enemies until we have stability and contentment here. And we can start with, I wish them peace and love, and maybe just never see me again. Like you can wish that, but don't hurt them, because you get a little bit of that too. And depending on how much they believe about themselves, you could get a lot of that, and this is just the way. You don't get to control anybody else's belief about their reality, their reception, their engagement with others. That's their rules. That's their game board. That's all on them. And the same goes for you. And yes, I've been a very codependent person, a people pleaser. I didn't even know that about myself. I didn't believe that about myself, but it took a little while, and I noticed, yes, I put all of the beliefs about me in the response of others. If I'm good, when people are happy with me, okay, I'm good. When no one was pleased with me or nothing to do with me, it just felt like there was nothing for me. Anything that I needed to do or process or shift, transition, I would ask someone, what should I do? No part of me trusted my own thoughts, myself. I didn't feel like I was worthy of just taking care of me. I'll just figure it out. Usually when I would figure it out, it's if someone else needed to be rescued, because there I'm useful again. I am on it. I got a plan and I'm loaded. But when it came to me, I was like, oh no, please, somebody bigger, older than me, help. And for a while, that always showed up until it came to the point where the universe was ready for me to know that I could also just be that for myself. I could believe it and let myself walk into the right experience where I'm the one that helped me get it. I'm the one that took the right moves and fixed it. I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that did it. I didn't need my husband or my mom or my grandmom or my boss or anyone else, my best friend. I didn't need anyone else to do it. Yeah, they're there, they got my back, and they're like, good for you. But I didn't need them to do it, And once you start getting into those sorts of learning yourself, then it gets to be more fun. You go through all of the sticky, icky landmines that you've sort of accidentally planted for yourself because of these beliefs that just got in there and stuck, But now you can undo it. You can sit there and, nah, don't do that. And just A couple of days, it's gone. You know, if you can do it a couple more days, you're going to get proof that it's gone. You can do it a couple more days, you're going to get stability. You're stop thinking about it. It's so gone. Wasn't even there. Energy moves way faster when we aren't in there resisting it. When we believe what we are experiencing about ourselves and when we are enjoying it, that's our alignment. What's happening is good. Where I am with it is good. What's going to happen is good. Yay, 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 yay. You know? And as a human that gets to be your biggest advocate, your biggest protector, lover, supporter, parent, guide, superhero, when your human is like starting to flail or glitch, when I start feeling like anxiety come out of like nowhere, or maybe I'm over, like I need a break from work, or my littles are like stretching me out and I need a break, I can be the one to say, hold on, please. And excuse myself and just take a couple minutes. It just takes a couple minutes to breathe, remind myself where I am, who I am, and reassess so that I can go through things aligned. This is never to say that all of our life gets to be joyful, joyful, joyful. I still have to clean the toilet. I still have to do lots of things that all of us moms get to do, you know, especially single moms. I take out my own trash, guys. I am the woman and the man and the mom and the dad, and I'm the bug killer. I hate to kill the bugs, but sometimes that's all I can do. But I get to do it from a place of, I don't have to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this for my family, for my home, for me, for my littles, and I'm just going to handle it. And I get to do that for myself, whether it's going to a meeting or a call that I'm not excited for. I can decide this is going to be good for me. I deserve to say what's right. I deserve to speak my mind. I deserve to stand up for myself. You know, my voice deserves to be heard, even if I haven't been brave enough to do that before. It matters. It matters that I'm thinking it. So if I'm thinking it, it matters to me. If it's here, it's something for me to address and respond to. No one had to call me. I'm looking at it. I'm having a feeling response. If it feels good, yes, more of that. And if it feels like anxiety or worry, whoa. Why? Why am I worried? Okay, it's never worked out before, but what if it worked out this time? Little things like that can sometimes tweak you in the right spaces, depending on how much you're willing to understand and believe this about yourself, and how much you've given yourself evidence and proof before, how much time you've spent believing otherwise. You know, we, as a person, some people have an easier time believing they can get healthy than they do believing that they can find their like true love. Some people believe they can have an easier time in their career or their finances, and some people believe that they're going to have this magical family experience no matter what. You know what I mean? We all kind of have our different ideas, and we hold on to them, and sometimes they're good for us, and sometimes we are maybe kind of wanting to do something different. And no matter how old you are, because you can teach an old dog new tricks. You can teach a middle-aged dog new tricks too, guys. All right, I'm going to go take care of my eye, and I will see you soon. Have a great Friday. Bye-bye.